You can get your Dragon Ball figures at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description. Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey there, collectors, it's Steven here, and I'm bringing you my first ever Dragon Ball GT review, and it's going to be of the most commonly known as Ichiban Kuji, but here in the US, we will know it as, on the box, Ichiban-sho? Ichiban-sho? I don't know. It's the Golden Great Ape, okay? This is something that everybody has seen in the different Facebook groups. They've been seeing on the different Instagrams. I posted a neat picture of this alongside my cat. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So, what's not cool is that there are a lot of folks who don't like GT. So, yep. But what is really amazing about this is that it's a giant, not exactly in scale, but a giant Great Ape figure available at retail on the market, at least in the US. So is this going to be something worth picking up? Because, well, let's be honest, it's not all the time we see a Golden Great Ape. Let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. Gotta be honest here with you folks, the issues that this figure has are going to be few and far between, and I think it'll only bother some select collectors. The biggest issue that I would have to say, which is a legitimate criticism, is that some of the paint applications, specifically on the hands and on the face, could have been tightened up a little better. It looks like the actual skin coloration that they used is a little too thick in regards to the paint, and there are a couple of small little paint hiccups on the face, which I'm not that impressed with. I think for about $80 they could have done a little better job, but otherwise the figure is great. There are some issues with seams that I know some folks really don't like seams, but you're gonna have that with a giant vinyl figure. That's just the way it goes. You're going to have to deal with it. Now, going back to the paint for a minute there, it's not all bad because the eyes do look good. We do have some nice detailed paint apps inside the mouth, even if they're not 100% perfect, that's fine. And then when we take a look at the sculpt for the rest of the figure, it's great. It really does look very hairy. And what's cool about that even further is, well, guess what? It's not just all going to be a yellow Great Ape. It's going to have some oranges here, some darker yellows all throughout the figure to really highlight this massive beast of a vinyl figure. So, if you're looking for a very detailed Golden Great Ape figure, this is gonna be the only thing that should be on your radar because it's big and it looks pretty freaking sweet. Now, since this is a fixed figure akin to a statue, there's not going to be any articulation despite the fact that there are some seams. So don't let any of that fool you. We do get one little kind of clear like support post that's supposed to go under his right butt cheek, and you can kind of see this in the little instructions that are included, but to be honest, it doesn't really serve any purpose aside from maybe if the tail begins to warp, the Great Ape can relax on it and rest a bit, but it doesn't really seem to even hold it up that much. So I don't know why this is included aside from the fact that the Great Ape cannot rest on the tail because that will warp, cause it, I would imagine, to crack in some years' time. But yeah, this is included just as a worst case scenario option, it seems. Now, because the instructions say to use it, I'm going to advise you to use it whenever you display the Great Ape. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over to a size comparison so you can see just how colossal this thing is. Now, I'm mostly an SH Figure Arts collector when it comes to the realm of Dragon Ball. There'll be a couple of third-party things I pick up here and there, but I don't really have any Ichiban Kuji stuff, so this is going to have to be what I'm able to show you. So if you're an SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball collector like myself, then congrats. It's not perfectly in scale, but this will just fit in fine enough. And quick note, no, Akira Details doesn't fit on the shelf. You're either going to have to modify it or put it on the top. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. I know this was a relatively short review. I'm looking at the runtime now, and by the time I'm done here, we're going to be at about the 5-minute mark of me actually reviewing this figure. That being said, there are some small issues here, and at about $80, I do think they could have tightened those up, but oh yeah, this is good. I am so glad I waited for this thing, and I am very happy to have this in my collection. Now, it's Machinations. Let's get on that Super Saiyan 4 Goku Figure Arts, shall we? Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.